Hi, thanks for watching. It's the Lipstick Gal, and I wanted to share with you some of the things that came in the mail today. So part haul, but also a little bit of a let's watch and see and how they perform. All right, so I recently ordered, set an alarm to do it on my phone because I was real excited about it, the new Zodiac collection from Colourpop and Kathleen lights. And there were three things in here obviously that caught my eye. I love this eyeshadow palette. I think that if you take this out and this orange, you end up with a very neutral, easy to use palette. But I like the fact that it has color in here and it's something that can help you maybe expand where you're comfortable and play with things that maybe you haven't played before, where if you do also want to do just a really plain, neutral, not too much, very maybe work appropriate if you want to call it that look, you certainly can. The other thing that I picked up, and I have loved these since day one, this is the Super Shock highlighter, and this is the lighter of the two shades. This one's on the cusp. And the last thing I got was one of their lipsticks. But let me just show you, first of all, I'm wearing everything today. This is the lipstick. This is called What's Your Sign? And it looks like this. I love the detail that you have in these lipsticks with the imprint and the bullet. I love that this is the cream formula. The cream formula to me, I think, is what I look for in a lipstick. It tends to be longer wearing than your average really hydrating lipstick. It's very comfortable, easy to apply. There is no tugging and pulling, and if you need a little extra hydration, it does provide that. Now, the matte formula in the Luxe Lips is very beautiful, but I really prefer the cream formula over any of them. And this one here, I think, is a really beautiful neutral nude. I don't feel it leans too pink. I tend to prefer pinky nudes over peachy nudes. Peachy nudes I don't think go well with my skin undertone. They don't look quite so attractive. I don't feel attractive wearing a pinky nude. I always reach for pinky nude, and this I don't feel is too pink or too peach. It's just straight down the middle, nude, nude, nude. So I wanted to show you some comparisons to this, but I love the formula. I love the look of it. I like the color. I think it's really easy to wear, and if you love nude lipsticks, I think you might like this one. Now, when it comes to the Super Shock highlighter, I have loved these since day one. I remember when I ordered Spoon and Wisp and a couple of others, like when they first released them, I was like, yes, 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 and yes. And I ordered, I think, like 4 that when they released them for the first time, I think, was it 3 years ago? I was totally in love. And so I have continued to like how beautifully these apply over any base that I'm wearing. Sometimes if I just have a little bit of concealer on, I want a little something on the tops of my cheekbones, this blends in beautifully. If I've got foundation and powder and blush and everything else, this still is able to go on and highlight without disturbing it. Now, this color might be just a hair too dark for me. I decided to order it because I love this formula. I love the way that it wears, and I thought that I might be able to pull it off. And I might just wear it because I like it, whether it's the most flattering highlight shade on me or not, because I love how glowy and shiny and highlighty it is. So let me show you what this looks like. So this right here is on the cusp. I think it has just a hint of a pinky undertone to it. A couple of other ones is I didn't actually swatch them side by side. I pulled out a couple of others that looked like they were the closest just by what they look like in the pan. This one here is Wisp. This was one that I really went to town to a long time ago. So let's see. So this is on the cusp. This is Wisp. Tends to be a little bit more gold. And the last one I picked up, and this one might be even darker. I should show you without the cap so you can really see it. This one right here is called Parasol. I don't know if they still make this one, but let me show you. So on the cusp, Wisp, and Parasol. That's what they look like. So definitely the lightest of all three of these, but these are fairly close. Those were the closest. I think Wisp is one of the closest ones. I believe you still can purchase Wisp, but I think it is different and unique enough that if you really love the formula, you really, really might enjoy that highlight. All right, so here is the eyeshadow palette. And today I started out with a little bit of the Libra, which is kind of like this nudie pink color here. I put that in the crease and then I said, you know what, that's not quite enough. So I put some of the Taurus in because I really wanted to play with this orange. And so I put that in and then I went into the Aries. I guess I could just look on the back here. It is on the back as well. So I picked up this right here, the Aries, and I patted that all over the eye. Now here's what I did. I want to try this a different way. Today, I put on Colourpop Snow Filter Concealer and then I pressed loose powder over it because my problem is my concealer tends to, if I use it as like an eyeshadow primer, it tends to kind of settle in the crease if I don't instantly get eyeshadow on there. And I did my eyes first today, which is kind of backwards for me because I almost never do my eyes first, but I didn't want to have this orange like all over the place if it wasn't going to play well. I found that I could press it on. You can maybe even look in the pan. There's a little bit of hard pan forming there. I pressed it on with my finger and I got a really good full color, almost this orange on my eyelid. And then when I wanted to go and put in, I went to go put in this one here, which is the Leo, and then later the Gemini, right on like the center of the eye. I was trying to blend it in and bring a little bit more of this Taurus back to kind of make sure the crease and the orange kind of work together. Guess what? It kind of blended away. Now, I don't know if that has anything to do with the fact that I set my no filter concealer with like a heavy press of powder. So I want to try this again with an actual like eyeshadow primer. Whether it's MAC or whether it's Too Faced or Urban Decay, whatever, I want to try it again. I have one from Lorac. I have a ton and I almost never use it. I always just use concealer, so I don't know why I still buy it. But I want to try it again and see how it does if I don't set my eye with powder. I tend to do that just so that I have an ease of blending and things don't grab to certain areas. That's what I was afraid of, especially with this bright color. But today I used, let's see, this one here is the Libra. I used the Taurus. I used the Aries, the Aries? Yeah, the Aries, the Taurus. I also used the Libra, which is kind of like this dark brown right here, kind of like in the outer part. And then all over that, I pressed in the Scorpio, kind of like all over the orange. And then right in the smack dab center, I put in the Gemini. That's what I did. I don't know if you get enough of a idea of what I've got going on my lids here. That's what I decided to do today. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't believe I used 6 colors. I used these 6 right here. Boop. From this orange and these guys here. These are the 6 that I used. I'm really interested in playing with these guys down here. I don't know. I've heard that kind of blue, this one right here, is a little bit persnickety, but we'll see. I felt like the rest of them performed really well, and these foiled ones, especially this one right here, this is the Gemini. It really reminds me of one of her Super Shock shadows from her Into the Night collection called Telepathy. It really reminds me of that, kind of like a greeny old gold. Very, very excited. I'll put some swatches in later in this video, but I really, really liked that. Another thing I wanted to talk about, and I don't know how many of these lipsticks I have because I love lipstick. It's like my weak point. Eyeshadow and lipsticks are the two things that I'm like, I need them all. I need them all. So this lipstick here applies really quite opaquely in one swipe. There you go. Boom. And that's what it looks like. This is Call My Name. I didn't go for the Scorpio Moon one, which was more of your kind of cooler toned lipstick, more of a, you know, pinky mauve tone, because I have so many lipsticks like that and it didn't just call to me. This one did. And I have always loved Kathleen's collaborations. This one here is the Lippy Stick in Aquarius. I'm going to put this over here, like on my far side. Oh! So Aquarius is definitely a little bit more cooler. I find that since it has more of that pink tone to it, it's the sort of nude I tend to gravitate towards. But this is also one of their creme formulas, so it's way more hydrating. I thought, okay, so there are those. What other lipsticks do I have that might be close? This is a Charlotte Tilbury. This one's called Bitch Perfect. It's a very popular shade in Charlotte's line. It's not quite as dark. It's a little bit lighter, a little pinkier. I also was curious about, I don't know if you happen to have this one. This is one of the Sweet Peach Creamy Peach Oil lip glosses from Too Faced. This one here is in Papa Don't Peach. Right here. And it's kind of close. This is Papa Don't Peach, and this right here is What's Your Sign. I feel like you could layer these two and you would still stay in the same kind of neutrally nude color family. If you have this one, it's a different formula, this being a gloss and very nourishing and hydrating. But if you're looking for not to dupe something inside your collection, you might want to keep that in mind. Another one that came to mind is this Chubby Stick Intense from Clinique. This one is in Curvious Caramel. This one is definitely, it's right here, it's definitely pinkier. This one is, on camera it looks like it has a little bit more of an orange lean to it, but if I were to put it next to a peachy nude, it'd be like a completely different story. Another thing I thought I would check it against, I don't know how many of these, what are these called? The Multi-Stick from Bite Beauty. This one is in Cashew. I was like, maybe it's, and it turned out it was way too dark. So there's Cashew, and this one right here is the new one from Colourpop and from Kathleen. And I said, you know what, just for giggles, let's try a few more. This one here is one of my absolute favorite lipsticks, favorite formulas. It's gosh darn expensive at $50 a piece. This is Silver Screen. The shade is called You Kid, but it's from Lipstick Queen. So I'm going to take off my little emergency alert bracelet and let's do a swatch right beneath it. They're kind of close. So if you like that sort of a shade, this one's still a little pinkier. This one tends to be a little more on the mid ground of the neutral side. This one tends to be a little more hydrating and sheer. It's meant not to be opaque in one pass, to let your natural lip peek through. I love this formula, but if you don't want to pay that much and you want to try something that's, I think when they named these Luxe, it was like the perfect name for it because it really marries the performance of a beautiful high-end lipstick with a, you know, what did they, $6? Totally worth it, $6 or $7. And the last one I thought I would try it up against, it kind of looked like it might be similar to this. This is one of the YSL, are they the Tatouage Couture Matte Stain. This is number 7. And this one here is beautiful, but it is still a little pinkier. This one tends to be a little more right middle of the road nude. So I had a couple others. I thought that these are the ones that are the closest, but they're not, some of them aren't even that close. It is a fairly, now I don't live in the nude lipstick land. I obviously have a few and I have more than I'm showing you, but I have more berry tones, I have more reds, I have more kind of like purples than nudes. My nude collection is kind of growing, but nude is not where I live. But I like knowing that I bought a lipstick. It's a beautiful lipstick. It performs beautifully, glides like nobody's business, and it's not close to anything else I own in my collection. So if that helps inform your decision, there you go. I will insert some swatches now of all of the eyeshadows. I didn't want to go through and try and see if I had any dupes anywhere. I think as far as eyeshadow palettes go, it's fairly individual. I don't feel like you're going to find this collection of shades and finishes anywhere else right now. I'm not saying there has never been or will never be or isn't something similar to this, but I feel like the thought process that went into this really makes it fun and worth its while. And remember, if you take out those three kind of really bright colors, it does work as a very easy to use eyeshadow palette. All right, well, I hope that was helpful if you've been thinking about, I know they're doing a restock today on Friday. And I just thought, you know, let me just quickly show you what I think about it, and maybe it helps you decide yes, no, oh, definitely not for me, or ooh, I have to have that, by the way, my little wipe to get rid of all my swatches. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day. And if you haven't already, would you please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up? I'll see you again soon, and have a wonderful day.